So, look, we reported yesterday about Patrick Stewart, the new CEO of Rangers, questioning the SFA about the non-awarding of a penalty to Rangers in the Premier Sports Cup final at the weekend. We've heard all from our rivals, shall we say, on the other side of the city, telling us that it wasn't a penalty because it was a foul outside the box, etc., etc., as they continue to demonstrate that as Celtic fans, they have zero understanding of the rules, as has been explained now by multiple referees and multiple ex-referees, including Bobby Madden.
Oh, wait! Piping!
Dermot Gallagher, can't remember the other guy's name now, Roach was it, or something like that, all saying that it's not about where the foul starts, it's about where the foul ends, and when the shirt pull is in progress, if the shirt pull ends with the player in the box, it is a penalty kick. We know that obviously Celtic fans think they know better, but we know that Celtic fans know nothing, as per usual.
Raging, isn't he? Fuming.
But it now emerges that Rangers were correct in their assertion that it should have been a penalty. Obviously, Philippe Clement was very angry after the game and asked journalists to dig deeper into this non-referral to VAR. This then obviously came with the top of Patrick Stewart asking the SFA for an explanation as to why it was not a penalty kick. It now emerges that it should have been a penalty. Not that that's any consolation, obviously, because the game is done and dusted. It's not like we can get the cut back. It's not like the game will be replayed. We know that.
What a woman.
I genuinely don't know what consolation this genuinely is, but it's a story nonetheless, isn't it? Head of the Scottish referees, Willie Collum, no matter what you think of him, or you think he's good at his job or fairly awful at his job, has now come out and stated that it should have been a penalty to Rangers and the VAR officials got it wrong and they should have referred John Beaton to the monitor, or at least told John Beaton that it was a penalty kick. Now, this obviously comes as no surprise to most Rangers fans, as we all knew it was a penalty, like I said, because multiple independent referees have all said it was a penalty, despite the fact the green and grey side of the city tried to assert that it wasn't, because as we know, they don't know anything about football. But look, it's a penalty kick, and it's an absolute travesty that nothing obviously can happen, that nothing will be done about this.
Oh, lovely.
On you go, Derek.
Right, guys, yeah, so where I'm at now, guys, is I actually just want to call this out now as blatant cheating, if you don't mind, and I'll put my name to that.
Get it round you.
We need to be careful in that, though, because cheating's a really strong word, and we are governed by the laws of the land, so we've got to be careful, Derek. So,
Right,
cheating...
Okay, I'm happy to attach my name to it, guys, but I don't have so much of a gripe with the on-field officials at the weekend, the linesman or the referee, so to speak. But to me, there is absolute zero excuse now when you have VAR. I mean, I'm just a football fan watching it on the TV, and I can clearly see at home that there's two clear and obvious errors. Now, one is when the game is at 2-2, and Celtic are breaking away. I think our fullback get caught up the park, Ridvan, the break. Now, our player, Mohamed Diamande, is clearly fouled. There's a kick out at him. He's on the ground, right? So the referee misses it. I get that. You can't see things in live play. I know how the game works, right?
I think I can smell shite.
Now, the VAR must be in the referee's ear saying there's a clear and obvious error because there has been a deliberate kick out at the player. The man goes through with the ball, plays it to the £11 million man, right? Who delivers the ball in for the man to score that's fouled Diamande, who's on the ground. Now, he is looking up with amazement thinking, what's going on? I've been fouled, right? So it's blatant.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
And then the penalty, I'm afraid it's
but holding that one just now then. Derek, hold that one a second, one at a time. Yeah. Peter, did you see it that way? I take it we're talking about Engels.
I know exactly the one he's talking about. He's talking about Kuhn, Diamande. Listen, I hate saying it. They're looking for excuses now, right? If it went the other way, there is not in a million years Rangers have been saying, they'd have been fighting. Oh, lovely. As you're getting for the Rangers' eyes.
Yeah.
Don't hear you talking about Jeff in the first half. where it's a red card for the tackle. You're not mentioning that. So listen, let's be clear. If you want to use VAR, use it for everything. Don't pick and choose what you want to use it for, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're making that up now, and now you're looking for excuses.
You're a grouch.
Let's bring in John, who's in Rutherglen. How are you, John?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure, John. What made you call?
It was just, again, regarding the penalty on Sunday. Obviously, the game cannot be replayed. But on the grounds of sporting integrity, should the cup, the result, not be declared null and void?
No chance. God's sake. You've been drinking?
No.
Why not?
Well, what would have happened if Rangers had got the penalty and missed it?
That's hypothetical here, as you say.
And
It's hypothetical. They could have scored it.
well, if you start declaring cup finals null and void on the back of a mistake, you'll have to replay or declare null and void every cup final.
I mean, not every, but I do take the point. I mean, like, seriously, John, because I get the depth of feeling on it, and I said before, I think if I'm in your shoes, I'm very angry, I'm very frustrated. But are we being serious here about null and voiding a National Cup because a penalty wasn't given?
Well, a penalty was denied. It's not a case of it wasn't given. It's been admitted by Willie Collum that it was a mistake.
Yeah, a mistake. So therefore, every time there's a mistake, you can't declare the competition null and void.
Mistake of astronomical proportions, if you want to put it that way.
He's actually being serious, man.
No, I agree. I think it's a big one. You know, I don't think it's just another mistake. I still don't know. I'll ask you, Ross, just in case you're going to surprise me. Should the cup be null and void?
No, it can't. Hugh's 100% right. I think if you go down that route, there's going to be so many that are going to be null and void. And then what? Do you then take that into the league as well? Like, if you look at, for talking sake, say Motherwell didn't get a penalty at the weekend. If they don't win that game, we should have won that game because we should have had another penalty.
I mean, would football not just kill itself, John, if we had to null and void competitions where refereeing mistakes were made? Like, practically, how would it work? I get your desire for it, but practically, how would that ever work?
There should be possibly a criteria where if it is a cup final.
Are you mad?
But again, where would you draw the line? Because as Ross says, we need to strap ourselves in. There might be one on the last day of this season. There might be a bad decision in the league. A team gets relegated. They have to pay off staff at the club because they've been relegated. They've not got that money anymore. That team doesn't come back into the Premier League ever again, or for the Premiership, or for the next 10 seasons. You know, everybody's in their own fight, John. I know that it's so important when it's a cup final, and you better believe it becomes more important to people when it's those two teams. But do you genuinely think it's workable, stuff like that?
I don't know, but I just thought I would throw that into the mix.
I don't mind it. That is what we're here for.
It doesn't really cut it, does it?
Yeah. And again, I said that, and I knew people would say the apology doesn't cut it, and I don't disagree, Hugh.
Yeah.
But if the solution to apology doesn't cut it, so null and void the cup, it feels like there's a big gap between those two. I think outcomes.
Scottish football would immediately become the laughing stock of the world if we started doing that.
Listen, John, I did say give us your solutions, your suggestions. You've given us one, so we can just agree to disagree. Thank you very much. That was John.
Oh, lovely. Get it up, yeah. Get it up, yeah.